chance to try some uppercuts. Watch. Roland's Gilman Gaines will punch off the ropes and counter with his own right.
First $1 million game since the famous Tszyu long count battle in Chicago 8 years before. Everyone stunned by the fury of Lewis's attack.
What's happening, my people? It's Cast Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. Now, as usual, before I get started, let me give a shout out to the JBT community. It's just boxing talk. We're a group of people who just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a podcast. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. That's all. Miss Cass, hashtag JBT. Just do boxing. Crush the legend. Mike Magic. Big Dre, hashtag JBT. Trump in the building. Salute to everyone and welcome to another episode of Cast Sports, The Box Storia. Today, Manny Pacquiao versus the Legends. And you know what time it is. If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's the Box Story bringing you all that boxing history. Boxing is the greatest sport of them all. That's why we love it. Can't get enough of it. As everyone, Monday afternoon edition of Cat Sports The Box Story, right back at the beginning of another big week of boxing history. Appreciate everybody rocking with me today. It's Fantasy Matchups Monday. Okay? Manny Pacquiao versus the legends. I got 20 legends we're going to match Manny Pacquiao up against. Like Pernell Whitaker, the Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran, Benny Leonard, legendary lightweight from the 20s. Pernell Whitaker. He does. And remember, this is just what I think. I need to know what y'all think in the chat during these matchups too. Give me some scores and stuff, man, you know, because this is not necessarily what will happen. This is just how I see it, okay? And I appreciate all the input I've been getting on these fantasy matchup Mondays. And Tszyu got sparked out Saturday. And we got who we got this weekend? Regis and Jack Catterall, right? Regis and Jack Catterall. Is Regis done? We will see Saturday. If he loses to Catterall, is that it for him? Will he become a gatekeeper? A journeyman? But it's coming up Saturday. Don't sleep on Jack. Just ask George Taylor about Jack Catterall. Beat George Taylor twice, but they took it from Jack the first time. But the second time, see, Jack kind of took his foot off the gas after that first fight, but the second time, he kept it to the pedal to the metal all the way through 12, and he got the second one. But he's in there against Regis. This is Regis' first fight since he lost his title to Devin. Yep. At least he's back in there. Good to see Regis again. We'll see how he bounces back. Because, you know, a loss doesn't define you. It's how you bounce back from that loss. That's what defines you, you know. And the main thing is getting back in there, okay? Getting back in there and keeping the grind going. And salute to Regis. He's back in the ring, going up against Jack Catterall. It's over there in London, too. Yeah. You know, I don't think Jack is from London, but he's from over in that area, man. They love their home cooking over there. But Regis went over there before with Jack Taylor, and he couldn't be mad. You can't call it a robbery because it was a very close fight, and couldn't be mad either way. But maybe if he would have been in the States, he might have got the nod. You never know, but we'll see. We will see. Let's take a look at what we got this week, though. Today is Fantasy Matchups Monday. Manny Pacquiao versus the Legends. Tomorrow, we're going to go back with the women again, okay? We're going to look at some significant things that happened in women's boxing. And we're going to look at the 10 top women of the women boxers of the 21st century tomorrow, okay? Some influential moments in women's boxing tomorrow, and then the 10 top women boxers of the 21st century. I got Layla Ali number one, okay? The GOAT, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, they all in there, but I got the GOAT, Layla Ali number one. You know, she had almost a 90% knockout rate, man. The GOAT ain't knocking nobody out. Ali would have stopped the GOAT prime versus prime. I'm gonna have to do a lady soon too. Maybe Layla Ali in a couple of weeks to be Fantasy Matchup Mondays. But I already got Sonny Liston planned for next week. But today is Manny Pacquiao. And then Wednesday, I don't have a show out of the chat, so Wednesday, I forgot. Wednesday is, let's think for a minute, Cass. Well, Thursday is boxing in the States continues with Massachusetts. Massachusetts this week. Some boxing history from Massachusetts. Some significant events that occurred concerning boxing in Massachusetts. And then Friday, we're going to end up this big week of boxing history with the profile as usual. This week, the life and career of Felix Tito Trinidad. Okay, don't miss that Friday. Got another good one for you. Had Zab last week. No. Pernell Whitaker. We did Zab a few weeks ago. We did Sweet Pea Friday, yeah. And Manny gonna have to face Sweet Pea today. I think Sweet Pea is one of the last ones. I think the Sweet Pea fight, don't have to say too much about that. Just go look at the Floyd versus Manny fight. I think Sweet Pea and Manny would be similar to that, Manny won't be able to score much. Sweet Pea will dominate him. Manny will keep running up in there. Sweet Pea will get out the way and counter him, just like Floyd did for 12 rounds. It'll be very similar, yeah. And the last one is Manny versus Henry Armstrong. Wouldn't that be something? Those two great legendary lightweights. Manny's the only 8 division world champion, and Henry Armstrong is the only man to hold titles in 3 weight divisions simultaneously at the same time. Back at a time when we only had the lightweight, featherweight, welterweight. We didn't have no juniors or supers. So he had, I just can't get over this, man. He had featherweight and welterweight, 21 pounds apart at the same time, defending both of them. Incredible, man. Defending 2 belts 21 pounds apart simultaneously. And remember, he just missed 4 by a controversial decision. And there were only 8 divisions then. He almost had half of them. One man. Homicide Hank. But yeah, Manny Pacquiao versus the Legends today on Fantasy Matchups Monday. How was everybody's weekend? Hope everybody had a good, safe one. Let's talk fashion in the building. What's up? Hashtag JBT. Let's talk fashion returns this week, Wednesday. Last Wednesday. I'm looking at magazines and stuff trying to get some fashion, man. Yeah, man, I pulled out some fashion magazines and stuff because he wasn't on, man. I was like, damn. I ain't never did nothing like that before, but got used to that fashion every week now. And then, that was the end of season number 2. That was the end of season number 2, I believe. This will be the beginning of season number 3. And if it's anything like those first 2, it's going to be fire. Not fire, fire. Okay? Part of that JBT network. The group of men and women that love to talk boxing. But today, Manny Pacquiao versus the Legends. We're going to get started in about 10 minutes. I always wait till 2:30. Used to wait till 2:30 for November 1st. Man, I'm going to have to watch Evening Magazine or something. God damn. November 1st. Wow. Okay. The season number 3 begins November 1st. That'll make it even better, the anticipation. Okay. But, another big week of boxing history. I got the whole week planned out, but I forgot what Wednesday was. It's written down somewhere. But yeah, tomorrow's going to be good. It's going to be, I'd like to touch on the women's boxing every now and then, And tomorrow's going to be some significant events that happened in women's boxing. And the top 10 women of the 21st century. That should be good. I just read it off, but I don't know where it's at. But we'll find out later in the show. But yeah, we got Manny against 20 this week, 20 different legends from different eras. And I got a couple guys that fought in the same era as Manny, but for some reason they didn't fight. Like Diego Corrales. Their careers, they was fought part of the same time, but they didn't fight. And so matched them up and with somebody else that we're going to have that fought in that era, but they never matched up. They're going to fight today. Yeah. And remember, I need your input. Need some scores, because this is just what I think. This is not necessarily how the fights would go, Just how I see them. No, I didn't get it to work yet, Big Dre. I was supposed to call you, man. I did not get it in. It says, yeah, I did Murderous Row, Trump. That's a good idea, though. I'm going to do it again eventually. Yeah, I did Murderous Row. You know, those were the guys that were highly avoided, a group of black fighters back in the 40s. They were highly avoided. Sugar Ray Robinson ducked one of them, Charlie Burley. He was considered the best Murderous Row fighters. 8 guys. You know, they had to fight each other just to get fights. Nobody would fight them. A couple of them in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. They couldn't get title shots. Some fighters would fight them. Archie Moore would fight them. A couple other guys. I knew the great middleweight Harry Grieve from the 20s. If he was in that era, he would have fought all of them. Harry didn't duck no smoke, man. Harry fought 45 times in 1919. 45 times in 1 year. That's an entire career nowadays, right? And guess what? He went 45-0 too. Won all of them. I thought Henry Armstrong had did something 37 in 1938. Harry Grieve fought 45 times in 1 year and won every one of them. That's crazy, ain't it? That's the record. That will never be broken. Just like those knockouts. Archie Moore is number 2 with the most knockouts. I think it's like 131. Number 1 is 136. I forget his name, but those are records that will never be broken. Because nobody will even fight 136 times anymore in a career. So how can they break that record? Yeah. So the knockout record is safe. Harry Grieve 45 times in 1 year is safe. That's an entire career nowadays. You know? Guys fighting 35 years old with 12 fights. Come on, man. Yeah, a lot of those Eastern European fighters have a low number because they stay in the amateurs so long, you know. Like Loma, 801 in the amateurs or 301, something like that. But he was damn near 30 years old fighting teenagers. They all do that over there. So, you know. But they have some bad boys once they get in those pros, though. Just look at Beterbiev and Bivol a couple weeks ago. Did they strip Beterbiev yet? I heard talk about that. IBF. What is wrong with the IBF? These guys going for undisputed. What trumps that? You know, why are you stripping it? They stripped Usyk. I mean, it's fight for undisputed. What more can he do? Yeah. But they can't take 2-division 4-belt undisputed away from him because he did it. Mike Grimm, what's up, Mike? Mike Grimm is in the building. We got 5 of those 2-division 4-belt undisputed. Woke was the first one to do it in the 2nd division. Now, she wasn't the first woman. Cecilia Brækhus was the first woman. Cecilia was 3rd overall, right behind B-Hop and Jermaine Williams. The Goat was the first 2-division 4-belt. Then old Bud Crawford. Remember, Katie Taylor and the Monster did it a month apart. Katie got her 2nd 4-belt undisputed in November last year. Monster got his in December. And then Usyk. I'm going to get that big heavyweight showdown again in December. I got Fury this time. If he starts out like he did last fight, he had that long jab out there in Usyk's face. But he wanted to play around. Well, I don't understand that. You know? Hands down low, playing around. And Usyk kept getting closer and closer. And Usyk worked his way in there and just tattooed him. Put him down. Didn't he put him down? I thought he was getting ready to stop him, but the referee saved Fury. That wasn't Harvey Dock, was it? Harvey Dock always saving people from getting knocked out. He must be related to Tony Weeks. And then Larry Hazard is their father. Because Larry had the biggest robbery of all time. Melody Taylor was leading Julio Cesar Chavez on all 3 cards. Larry stopped it with like a second left in the fight. Come on, man. What more damage can you do in 1 second? If the man had done some kind of permanent damage, he had done it with 1 second left. You don't stop a fight with 1 second left, especially if you stop it on the guy that's winning on all 3 cards. But they could not Rob Taylor and give it to Chavez. So they gave Larry the signal. Do something. You can't have this guy beat Julio. And what they had promised to pay him to cheat, they doubled it. That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. One of the biggest robberies of all time. Yeah, that was something, wasn't it, Trump? Yeah, he did 45 1 year. He did 45 in 1919, Trump, and 37 like 1917. 2 separate years, man. 2 separate years. I think he did 37 around 1917 to set the record. Then he broke his own record a couple years later with 45, right? Then a couple years later, he did 12, and that was low for him. 12, you think 12 is something. That was low for Harry. Must have been injured or something. Every time he only fought 12 times in a year. Them guys were just tough back then. Look at Willie Pep. Willie Pep was in a plane crash, right? Had significant injuries and fought 10 more times later that same year after a plane crash. The doctor told Willie, you'll never fight again. Willie said, yes, I will. The only thing I'm not going to do again is fly at night. And he fought 10 more times that year. Those guys were just tough, man. Tough men. Told you about Jake LaMotta 3 times in like a month, a little over a month. Fought Sugar Ray February 5th, 1943, February 24th, 1943, and then fought somebody else like the second week of March, 1943. 3 times in about a month, man. Them guys wanted to smoke. You didn't see any O's. And Manny gonna have to go up against some of them guys today. Carmen, Basilio. I took him all the way to junior middleweight. Manny never fought at middleweight. Right? Yeah. He went to junior middleweight. Junior middleweight was his 8th division. And Manny's could have had 10. He skipped 2. I think he skipped 115 and 118. Yeah. He went from 112 to 122. That's when he was juicing. You know. Let's keep it 100. That's when he was juicing. He went from 112 to 122. And then he hit each one on up, all the way to 154. Winning titles all the way. Taking his power with from every step, too. Yeah. The Pac-Man. He wasn't juicing. Yes, he was. No, he wasn't. Yes, he was. Melanin Queen 27 in the building. What's up, Melanin Queen? How are you today? Good to see you. I can relax now. I can mess up because Melanin Queen gonna clean it up for me in the chat. Salute, Melanin. How was your weekend, Melanin Queen? Hope you had a good, safe one. Yeah. Anybody hear from and who won the air fryer? Anybody hear from Cut Creator? Yeah, about the air fryer. So this raffle can be complete. Yeah, he was he won the air fryer. Oh man. Michael Garner got the headphones and the Apple 10th generation iPad. Yep. Yeah, Michael Garner. The next raffle, you're gonna have to get them blocks. Michael Garner had 7 block of 25s. He had 21 chances, and he won 2 of the 3 prizes. So hey, you got to play a lot to win. You don't have to play to win. You got to play a lot to win. So yeah, get them blocks. When we give away the car, I'm getting like 100 blocks. I'm gonna get out of the JBT for a few months so I can win it. Need a new car. But we talking about Manny Pacquiao versus the legends today. Got 20 of them. Manny gonna go up against. Okay, and we're gonna see what happens. And remember, I need your input in the chat. You can give me some scores. Score to fight. Y'all probably think, Cass, you don't even score to fight your damn self. You're telling us scores. I'm gonna score some of them today too. Okay, yeah. But not, that's if you don't want to score, just, give me your opinion on what you think would happen, because this is just what I think, and I could be wrong, Remo said I always pick the older guys to win. I might be biased subconsciously, not even realize I'm being biased for the older guys. I'm an older guy. You know, I came up with Roberto the Red and Sugar Ray and Hearns and all them guys. But no, I try to be objective, not subjective, you know. But excuse me for 1 second, and then we're going to start. Technique. What's up, Technique? Technique in the building. Yeah, we get ready to start in a few minutes. Get you, count from 100 back to 0. And I'll be back in 1 second. Don't leave. I don't know, man. Excuse me for 1 second. Your turn. Okay. Sorry, I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm back. Okay, let's go with today's show. Nobody left. Matter of fact, some more people came in. Appreciate that. Who we got here? Thomas Hill in the building. What's up, T Hill? How are you today, bro? Manny Pacquiao versus the Legends. And this fantasy matchup Monday was a Thomas Hill idea. Okay. So yeah, salute Thomas Hill. This is a very good, very good idea. And of course, coming from Thomas Hill, you know, appreciate him. T Hill. And he's my co-host for the last 30 minutes. You know. Hit me up. I'm gonna drop the link, you know, at like 3:30, and then you know anybody want to come up and get their opinions up here or in the chat on these fights. But let's go with today's show. Okay, now Manny was champion in 8 weight divisions, right? Only man in 8. Now Amanda Serrano got 7, so Manny better watch out. You know, and Amanda is still active, so that 8 ain't set in gold. It's breakable, man. Okay. But let's talk about weight divisions real quick since my man Manny got 8 that we're going to be talking about today. Okay. Now, boxing is all about weight division. And while a featherweight or a flyweight will never be a heavyweight champion, there are boxers who have been successful in multiple divisions, right? There are 16 boxers who have won world championships in 4 or more weight divisions. We talked about them last week, remember? Now, this shows that even though major world championship titles in multiple weight divisions have been achieved by some boxers, tackling multiple weight divisions is difficult, right? And no fighter has conquered more divisions than Manny Pacquiao, 8. And the Filipino Legends titles span from flyweight, 112 pounds, to junior middleweight, 154 pounds. I didn't even go up here to my slide display. Yep, Manny goes all the way from 112 to 154. And guess what? He could have had 10 because he skipped 2, right? He skipped right over junior bantamweight, 115, and bantamweight, 118. Yeah. So Manny could have very well had 10 weight divisions. Okay, so now let's touch on Manny real quick, since he's going to be going up against all these legends today. And I got a couple guys that fought in the same area as Manny, but for whatever reason he didn't fight these guys, so he's going to fight them today. Now, Manny Pacquiao is a Filipino politician, businessman, and former professional boxer. Nicknamed the Pac-Man, he is widely regarded as one of the greatest professional boxers of all time. Now, he competed as a professional from 1995 to 2021. 26-year career. It's legendary. And Manny is, like I said, the only 8-division champion in boxing history. Okay, he won 12 major world titles. He was the first boxer to win the lineal championship in 4 different weight classes. He was the first boxer to win major world titles in 4 of the 8 original weight divisions. Remember, flyweight, featherweight, lightweight, welterweight, middleweight. Well, he won at, the original 8, but he won at flyweight, featherweight, lightweight, and welterweight. The other was middleweight, heavyweight. It was 8 of them, 8 original. We didn't have the juniors or the supers. But Manny he got titles in 4 of them. The only man to have 4 of them in the original 4 of the 8 original weight classes. Manny Pacquiao, and he's also the only boxer to hold world championships across 4 decades: 1990s, 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s. Now, Roberto Duran and Jack Johnson are the only boxers to fight in 5 decades, but they did not hold titles in all of them. Manny had titles in 4, okay? And Manny generated, get this, $1.2 billion in pay-per-view revenue during his career. 25 pay-per-view fights, $1.2 billion in revenue. He was in that big one with Floyd. That's the biggest of all time. No. I think Conor McGregor and Floyd. I did a show on that. Manny and Floyd is definitely top 5, though. And Manny had a total of 72 professional fights during his career. He won 62. He lost 8. He had 2 draws and 39 knockouts. And he's expected to be a part of the International Boxing Hall of Fame's class of 2025 next year, in his first year of eligibility. If Manny don't go in on the first ballot, they just should close it down. Turkey Alley Sheik in there, Rocky. I know damn well Manny going in next year. I'm gonna go up there and burn it down. Don't put Manny in there. Got Turkey Alley Sheik and Rocky in there. Come on, man. And Manny served as a senator in the Philippines from 2016 to 2022. And he lost in a bid to become the country's president in 2022. Okay, let's kick this thing off. The first legend will be, no, not Manny. Oh, I forgot to show y'all that beautiful slides, and I forget to show them. Come on, guys. What's wrong with you, man? Got to be better. But the first, what is today? No, I know. Fantasy matchups, buddy. Manny Pacquiao versus the legends. Manny Pacquiao versus not Cast Sports. Willie Pep. There he is. The Will of the West. Willie Pep. Manny Pacquiao. Don't forget to let me know what y'all think now. Willie Pep. Now, Floyd Mayweather Jr. may fancy himself a defensive wizard, but Willie Pep was just about the best ever defensively. Yeah, that's my pick for best ever, Willie. I ain't mad if you say Floyd or Sweet Pea or Nicolino Los was a bad man too, but Willie is my pick for best ever. Won a round without throwing a punch. Any boxer who can have a legend circulating about winning a round without throwing a single punch is truly a marvel at not being hit, right? And the Will of the Wisp might not have been the biggest puncher with 25 knockouts in nearly 50 fights, but he won 229 of them behind his great defensive ability, speed, finesse, and elusiveness. And considering he was able to come back from a plane crash to compete in 10 fights later the same year, shows just how durable and tough he was, right? Did his best work at featherweight, okay? And he was also 5'5", same as Pacquiao. So physically, the two would match up in size. As for the fight, it would be a classic defense versus offense, with Pacquiao having to find a way to neutralize Pep's brilliant ability to not get hit. Pep's defensive skills would be crucial against Pacquiao's aggression. And if Pep could avoid Pacquiao's power and maintain distance, he might win on points. But Pacquiao's relentless style and speed could pose significant challenges for Pep. But Pacquiao could not solve Mayweather's defense, and he would not be able to touch Pep enough to beat him. Pep's toughness and defensive elusiveness would be key to him winning by decision over Manny Pacquiao, okay? And Pep fought in the 15-round era, so about 9-6, okay? 9-6 in 15. If it was 12, about 8-4. 9-6, 8-4-ish, somewhere around in there. Willie Pep by decision over the Pac-Man, okay? All right, next, Manny Pacquiao versus the legends. Kid Chocolate. I forgot to put his real name down. Kid Chocolate. Okay, anybody know Kid Chocolate's real name? Joe would know. Joe ain't in here. Bruce Gas ain't either. Trump might know. But I'm going to know in a minute. They got this thing called Google. But Kid Chocolate is Manny's next opponent. Let's get his real name. That's important. Somebody in here might be related to him or something, man. You know, I got to put the man's real name out there. That wouldn't be fair. That'd be somebody's cousin or something. Kid Chocolate, his real name was, watch it be something I can't pronounce after I went through all of this. Okay. Eligio Sardinas Montalvo. Eligio Sardinas Montalvo. That's his real name. Okay. Kid Chocolate is what he was known by in his boxing career. And he's going up against Manny next. Get my chat back up. There we go. All right, likes looking good too. Appreciate it. Okay, Kid Chocolate versus Manny Pacquiao is next. Oh yeah, Willie Pep and Manny was at that's important, 126 featherweight. Okay, featherweight. Kid Chocolate and Manny is super featherweight, 130. You're not gonna believe this. I got his damn name written right down here on the paper, man. And I did all the Googling and everything. His name be written right there. Gee. Now, he fought his entire career at super featherweight, so 130. Okay? Now, one of the original Cuban amateur standouts, Kid Chocolate, he was 97-0 as an amateur. He was a tough fighter. He sparred with fighters like Leonard. Leonard's on this list too. And Jack Johnson, who were both champions at lightweight and heavyweight, respectively. Of course, at that time, professional boxing was allowed in Cuba. And so Kid Chocolate made his debut there in Cuba, didn't have to escape to the United States or somewhere back in them days. And that led to him becoming the junior lightweight champion, super featherweight junior lightweight. And like most boxers from Cuba, Kid Chocolate was a boxer who had some power, but could also use the ring expertly. Okay, good ring generalship. His ability to outbox opponents was impressive, and he had a bit more power than Willie Pep did. Okay, and he won 135 fights, with 51 of those wins coming by knockout. He was also only knocked out twice. Okay, in 10 losses. 135 and 10, knocked out twice. Now his chin, mixed with a little bit of power and a lot of boxing savvy, would have made him an excellent opponent for Manny Pacquiao. Yes, it's a pretty decent matchup. Kid Chocolate is the more skilled boxer between the two, and he also liked to be aggressive. Now Pacquiao had power, speed, and a high-level work rate. I would rank Pacquiao higher than Kid Chocolate pound for pound. But Floyd Mayweather didn't have much trouble beating Pacquiao. And Kid Chocolate was very similar to Floyd, right? And just as skilled and slick. But was more aggressive. Kid Chocolate was more aggressive and took more risk than Floyd. So who would win this matchup? Kid Chocolate by decision. Likely a pretty wide one. Chocolate's slick boxing, mixed with its aggressiveness and counterpunching, would be kryptonite for Manny Pacquiao. Kid Chocolate would see Pacquiao's lunges coming all night and exploit his open defense. Kid Chocolate, 15 rounds again, 10 rounds to 5. 10 rounds to 5. Or 12, like 9-3. Wide decision. 10 to 5 and 15, 9 to 3 and 12. And we're gonna get through some boxes from up in this era too. You know, I tried to include all eras, right? You're gonna come up this way, don't worry. Okay. Now, anything from what's the guy named Melanie Queen? Cut Creator? Yeah. Anybody? Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Next. Manny Pacquiao versus the Legends. I told you I had a few boxers that boxed in the era, right around the era he boxed in, but for some reason they never fought. So the next one is Prince Nassim Hamed. I think him and Manny kind of overlapped in eras, didn't he? How come it didn't change? Oh, I don't know what's going on, man. Remo, help. Somebody. Melanin Queen, somebody. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Now look and see that picture. They said Prince Nassim had a habit of blowing up between fights. And that's before when he was weighing in and after his in between fights. Look at that. Wow, Prince. And he fought like 126, 130. He's a super heavyweight after. Look at that, man. It's an understatement, him blowing up between fights. Wow. But him and Manny would be at 126 featherweight. Hello, Miss Cass. How are you? Okay. Crush the Legend. What's up, Crush? I thought you had been in here, Crush. But Crush the Legend is back in the building. He was in here when I started early. I thought I saw his name up there. Yeah. You don't forget Crush the Legend when you see his name in the chat. Man. But salute, Crush. Great job with the coffee and the donuts in the morning. Crush the Legend from the TWT. Does a joint TWT JBD collaborative in the mornings at 6:30. Coffee and donuts right before J Hardcore Scrapple and Eggs. Okay, salute, Crush. Prince Nassim Hamed and Manny Pacquiao at featherweight, 126. Okay? Darby Hill say, at all. Yeah. Yeah, Prince Nassim. And that's something. They said he blew up between fights, and wow. Look at that, man. He could be a professional wrestler. In between boxing matches. Now, Hamed was a fun fighter, but he wasn't on the same level as Manny's first two opponents, Pep or Kid Chocolate, nowhere near. Now, with that said, the build up to a fight between Pac-Man and Prince Nassim Hamed would have been entertaining to say the least. And Ahmed would have made one of his classic ring walks as well. You know, he rode a motorcycle down there one time. Remember that, T-Hill? Yeah. He rode a motorcycle to the ring. Now, Christopher C may have only one loss on his record, but it was a brutal one to Marco Antonio Barrera, and that was his last fight. And Pacquiao was able to beat Barrera twice during his career. And the way that Ahmed held his hands low and shimmied around the ring would likely have gotten him brutally knocked out by Pacquiao. But for as long as the fight lasted, it would have been as exciting as the press conference and pre-fight pageantry. It's a fight that even with the winner almost a foregone conclusion, it still would have been pay-per-view worthy. Both of these fighters had unorthodox styles, but Manny had a faster, more powerful, better all-around style. And Manny had more skills and was just the better all-around fighter. There's always a chance that Ahmed could have caught Manny coming in like Marquez did, but Marquez was a much better counterpuncher than the Prince. Pacquiao would eventually wear Ahmed down with constant pressure and high-volume power punches and stop him in the late rounds, okay? It was 12 rounds by then. Stop him 8-12, round 9. Manny got stoppage, okay? Here's a good one here. This is a good one. Manny Pacquiao versus Salvador Sanchez, the legend. This man is just incredible, man. Career was cut short at 23. Went nowhere near his prime. Still thought of as one of the best Mexican fighters of all time. And legendary, one of the best featherweights of all time. So just think if he would have went up into his prime, into his 30s. He would be the best Mexican fighter of all time, not even arguable, and the best featherweight. It wouldn't even be arguable. He's arguable and only fought till he was 23. Salvador Sanchez. This fight would be at 126 too, featherweight. Now Sanchez has a plethora of dream fights that he could easily fit into. No one really knows what the 23-year-old could have done in boxing if he hadn't died in a car crash at 23. He may have become one of the greatest boxers of all time, if not the best ever, to lace up a pair of gloves. And who knows, he might have easily fallen apart within a few years as well. You never know, right? He could have been like a front runner, had that great beginning to his career and just fallen apart. It's just one of those things we'll never know, but I doubt that seriously, but we'll never know. No one will ever really know. Now, what is known is how dominant he was in the ring and how he knocked out talented fighters like Azumah Nelson, who was unknown at the time. And he also beat fighters like Danny Little Red Lopez and the legendary Wilfredo Gomez, one of the greatest Puerto Rican fighters of all time. But, and he beat Gomez and Danny Little Red Lopez by knockout. Now, Sanchez seemed to have power and boxing ability, along with tenacity and heart. A fight with Pacquiao would not only have told fans more about what Sanchez was capable of in the ring, but probably would have been a war as well. And from what I did see of Sanchez, I would lean toward him in this matchup against Pacquiao. You know, Sanchez was a battle-hardened warrior, and I would expect him to pull this fight out down the stretch. Now, both of these fighters, Sanchez and Pacquiao, would battle to the final bell. So don't think it would make much of a difference whether this is 12 or 15 rounds. It's going the distance. And Sanchez was much better at featherweight than Pacquiao was. Sanchez was a better and more versatile boxer than Eric Morales, Marco Antonio Barrera, or Juan Manuel Marquez, three of Pacquiao's toughest opponents, right? He was also a better counterpuncher than all three, including Marquez, who was highly thought of in that regard. Plus, Marquez was more restricted to that style than the more versatile Sanchez was, who was also a more powerful puncher than any of those three, right? More durable than any of the three, with seemingly limitless stamina, and better inside or outside, right? And in a brawl. Pacquiao's one-paced attack would get him countered consistently and slowed down a lot by the later rounds. But I think he would make it to the cards. Sanchez might stop him over 15 rounds. I know I said it probably would make a difference, but it's a slight possibility Sanchez would stop him. But it would probably go the distance 12 or 15. I give Manny the benefit of the doubt. He'll make it to the cards. Sanchez, 116, 112, 8 rounds to 4. Damn, what is Manny like? 1-5 or something? And Remo, you might be right. I might subconsciously be biased toward the older guys, man. Nope, I'm just going by the facts. I'm telling you why. Okay, I ain't biased. Okay, now him and Arturo Gatti, they was around the same era. Their careers overlap. Arturo Gatti is next. You have to included a few guys that fought, around that same era as he did. Him and Henry Armstrong is last. Don't miss that. That's gonna be good. I broke that one down, man. Broke that one down, not down, down. But here's Arturo Gatti. Arturo Gatti, Manny, is at 140. Junior welterweight. This is the highest so far. Yeah, junior welterweight. Because, Manny went all the way to 154. But he missed, like I was telling you when I was telling you about this last week, you can have a wide range of fighters against Manny. But he did miss 115 and 118. Oh, some money. Oh, that's the JBT. Yeah, man. I've heard of Cash App. I said, the Cash was the JBT thing. But hey, that's good. Money to the JBT. Arturo Gatti. This is that junior welterweight, 140. Right? Now, it's tough to say what would happen in this fight. Maybe it would be a war. Maybe Gatti would receive a one-sided beatdown. There isn't any easy way to measure how the action would take place in this fight because Gatti himself was hard to measure. The man seemed to be made of iron and could come back from the brink of defeat almost like clockwork. Gatti had that knack, man. So how would this fight play out? Now, I think Pacquiao would outclass Gatti almost as badly as Mayweather did Gatti. But with Manny's greater output and superior punching power, his stoppage would likely come earlier than Mayweather's did against Gatti. Gatti had power in both hands and had a go-for-broke style. But Pacquiao had a lot of success with guys that charged in towards him, right? And Pacquiao's superior footwork and hand speed would give Gatti major problems. Again, similar to the Mayweather fight. But this is Arturo Gatti, and who knows? He might have made this fight with Pacquiao an epic battle. But I think Pacquiao had the style and skills to dominate Gatti and finish him in the middle rounds. Pacquiao stops Gatti like 7 or 8 rounds. Okay? Manny Pacquiao stoppage. Now we got Bobby Chacon. That's Skywalker from the TWT's uncle. That's his mom's brother. Bobby Chacon in the building. There's Bobby. Yep. Bobby Chacon. Yeah. Yeah. Skywalker Boxio's uncle. This is at 130. Super featherweight / junior lightweight. Bobby Chacon. Now, Chacon is one of boxing's tragic stories. As a fighter, he had to live through his wife's death, had to deal with pugilistic dementia, and lost all of his savings. But in the ring, he was considered one of the most exciting fighters in the world and would frequently put on exciting fights for the fans. And the amount of heart he held and his knockouts, combined with the times he was knocked out, proved that he would leave everything in the ring. Chacon had an explosive punching style. He knocked out 23 of his first 25 opponents, including a 10th round TKO over Cucho Castillo and an electrifying 9th round TKO victory over Danny Little Red Lopez in Los Angeles, California, on his way to the featherweight title. Now, the matchup between Pacquiao and Chacon, Manny would be heavily favored, and with his 80% knockout rate, Chacon would likely have to stop Pacquiao to beat him. Manny's speed, superior footwork, aggressiveness, and the mental pressure he would keep on Chacon throughout the fight would lead Pacquiao to a wide unanimous decision, like 118-110, something like that. 118-110. That's like 9-3, 10-2, something like that. 118-110 for Manny. Okay. Acelino fantasy matchups Monday. Manny Pacquiao against the legends. Acelino Freitas is next. There's Acelino on the left. This fight is at 135 lightweight. Now Manny didn't fight all that much at lightweight, yeah. But this one is at 135 lightweight for Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, appreciate everybody that's rocking with me today. Appreciate Melanie Queen 27 for all her hard work she does. Thomas Hill, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Okay. Acelino Freitas, lightweight. Now, in his prime, Freitas was able to knock out almost everyone he got in the ring with. There should also be noted that he had his last 2 losses of his career happened within the last 5 fights of his career, okay? And by the time he lost his last fight to Juan Diaz, the fire that had once consumed the Brazilian fighter seemed to have disappeared. Now, Freitas may not have had any career-defining wins against top competitors, but he was able to beat almost anyone that happened to be across from him in the ring, okay? And Freitas at 135 would have been too much for Pacquiao. Freitas took Diego Corrales and Jorge Barrios' biggest shots. Nothing Pacquiao hit him with would surprise him or badly hurt him. And Freitas was a lot bigger and heavier than Pacquiao. Freitas had amazing footwork and movement too. And his ability to punch with power from different angles, along with his footwork and ring generalship, would aid him in winning a decision over Pacquiao, or possibly a late stoppage. But yeah, Freitas by like 8-4, 12 rounds. Yeah, he would beat Manny. Okay. Azumah Nelson. There's Azumah on the left. Azumah Nelson. She's the bomb.com. Okay. This fight is at featherweight 126. Manny Pacquiao versus Azumah Nelson. The Nelson was one of the first of many tough Ghanaians to step in the ring and make a name for himself. Like most fighters out of Africa, he wasn't given much notice when he started his career. Even when he fought against Salvador Sanchez, he wasn't supposed to be much of a challenge. He not only gave Sanchez everything that he could handle, but ended up going on to have a stellar career. Now, though he lost the last 3 fights of his career, one of which was a 2008 rematch with his old rival, Jeff Fennick, he was only knocked out once during his career and was able to knock out over 2/3 of the opponents he faced. Okay? Now, Pacquiao may have fought Joshua Clottey and beaten him, but it's safe to say that Nelson would have given him a much tougher fight. And this is a very tricky one, as Manny passed through featherweight briefly, while Azumah was an established champion at the weight. And Barrera was fairly shop-worn by the time Manny got to him. And of course, Marquez held Manny to that controversial draw in their first fight. So you can imagine a peak Nelson, who was only just a notch below Barrera and Marquez, giving Manny a huge struggle. I think Pacquiao could outspeed Nelson and win a narrow points decision, but only a casual fan would count Azumah out, whose only losses in his prime were to all-time greats Salvador Sanchez and Pernell Whitaker. Okay, that's who he lost to in his prime. So this would be a good fight. Over 12 rounds, 116 to 112 for Pacquiao. 116 to 112. Okay? Now, he fights another Filipino legend, Gabriel Flash Elorde. Two Filipino legends going up against each other. Manny Pacquiao versus Gabriel Flash Elorde at super featherweight 130. Now, even if Elorde wasn't a top super featherweight fighter and an all-time great, the fight still would have been amazing to watch. Just like Pacquiao, Elorde came from a poor family in the Philippines, right? And took up boxing as a means to improve his life. And just like Pacquiao, Elorde succeeded. He became the first boxer since Pancho Villa to become an icon to the Philippine people. He was really one of the first and set the template for Pac-Man. Now, even though he was also a southpaw, he was more of a boxer type, though with a roughly 1/3 of his fights ended by knockout. Even with his lack of power, a fight between him and Pacquiao would not only be entertaining, it would be one of the most significant sports events ever to take place in the Philippines. The reaction from the Philippine fans and the divide it would make among them would be interesting to watch. And this would be a top fight that's worthy of a series, with both fighters capable of getting a win at some point. And Pacquiao still had some polishing to do at 130, although he may have kept Flash for speed and power. But I think Flash was clearly more savvy and had a more educated jab than Manny. And at that stage, Flash had a more savvy jab. And, he was more savvy and had a more educated jab. But I would pick Manny in that one. Manny was a little bit more skilled, but it would be a good fight. 115, 113. Close fight. Now here's a good one. Alexis Arguello. Manny Pacquiao versus Alexis Arguello. There's Alexis. The explosive thin man. Alexis Arguello. The explosive thin man. And this fight is at 135 lightweight. Now, Arguello's suicide in 2009 was devastating news in the boxing community. And the only thing more devastating than his passing was the skills in the boxing ring. In his prime, Arguello was known for knocking opponents out. Okay. Yeah, in his prime, Arguello was known for knocking opponents out and sometimes countering them with powerful shots. And he became so well known for counterpunching, he gained the nickname El Flaco, the explosive thin man, right? And a fight between him and Pacquiao would have been reminiscent of his fights with Pryor, with whom Arguello had two legendary fights. And Aaron is on this list too. And the matchup with Pacquiao is one of the most interesting fantasy fights in boxing history. Could Manny's speed of hand and foot cause the flat-footed Arguello problems, or with Arguello's power and precision, see him through? Who wins the fight at 135? Prime Pacquiao or Prime Arguello? Right? Now, Prime versus Prime, it would likely be similar to Pryor Arguello, where Arguello would land his shots. But the activity of Pacquiao would be the difference and earn him the decision. Yeah, Pacquiao won in 15 rounds, 15 rounder. 9-6 Pacquiao in a 15 rounder. Yeah, that would be 15 rounds because Arguello fought back in the day. Okay, here's another guy that fought in Pacquiao's era, Diego Corrales. There's Diego. There's Diego. Yeah. Oh, Lord, and Tony Weeks. Where's Al Booker at? There's Tony Weeks. Okay, Diego Corrales. Okay. I was trying to see what time it was. Okay. This fight would be at super featherweight 130. Now, this fight might fall under the Arturo, Gatti, or Nassim Hamed category. The fight itself might have been one-sided, but it would be fun while it lasted. Now, much like Gatti, Corrales wasn't the most polished boxer, but he had power and heart. And like those that came before him, it led him to title shots and championships. Now, Pacquiao versus Corrales at 130. Who wins? This would be an interesting matchup. Seeing how Pac-Man would deal with the long body and arms of Corrales, and to see how Corrales would deal with the speed and power of Pacquiao. Now, Diego would do his best working behind his jab, while Pacquiao would be going in and out. Now, if Manny finds a home with his left on Diego, I see Manny scoring some knockdowns in the fight. But he would get hit too. But I'd still pick Manny by decision. Okay? Or a late stoppage. But probably would be a decision. Wide decision. 9-3. Leonard. Leonard, legendary lightweight from back in the 20s. This is at 135. Manny Pacquiao versus Leonard at 135. Now, a lot of times, boxing fans, especially older ones, will put a certain amount of clout on boxers of the past when it is not deserved, right? Now, yes, boxers in the early days paved the way, for the ones we see today. And they might have some of the fundamentals that are lacking today. But they also weren't as untouchable as pundits want to make them. Now, Leonard probably didn't fit in that class. Now, it's tough to say if Leonard was powerful in the ring or not. His record is not exactly clear, as he may have had anywhere from 80 to 200 fights. He fought back in the era where records wasn't too clear. All the fights wasn't documented back in those days. So he had between 80 and 200 fights. It's not even clear what his official record was. But what is known is that he won most of them. Whatever he had, he won most of them. At one point, He even retired as the lightweight champion before the stock market crash and the depression made him return to the ring. His mother had asked him to quit, right? Then when they had the depression, he came back because he got knocked out one fight and his mother fainted in the audience. And she asked him to give it up, and he gave it up. But he came back when the depression hit. What's up, old school? The old school told me that. Mm-hmm. We have old school Rand in the building. Isn't that something? And he comes in right now. I can't find anything. There it is. What's up, old school? One half of the angry white men in the building. Friday nights at 10 p.m. Friday JBT podcast. Check it out. Every Friday at 10 p.m. Okay. Fantasy matchups Monday, old school. Manny Pacquiao versus the legend. Going up against Benny Leonard now. Yeah. Old school know about Benny Leonard. What you think about that one, old school? Now, Benny was known for chatting with his opponents and even throwing them off the game with this tactic. Now, it might have been hard to pull it off against Pacquiao, but Leonard still might have been able to do it. But it would be interesting to see how Pacquiao-Leonard unfolds. Now, Benny Leonard was a pure master boxer and one of the greatest lightweights of all time. Plus, we didn't see a lot of Manny at lightweight, right? So this comparison is difficult. But Benny Leonard was a master technician and likely would win a decision over Manny. Okay, like 8-4, something like that. Okay, now here's a real good one. Manny Pacquiao versus the Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran. The Hands of Stone. Okay. Roberto Duran, and this would be at lightweight. Would have to be at lightweight. Okay. Roberto and Manny. That's where he was the Hands of Stones at lightweight. Now, before his No Mars fight with Sugar Ray Leonard, Duran was seen as one of the scariest boxers in the ring, okay? Now, though he was a successful boxer at different weights, it was his time as a lightweight where Duran earned his title, Manos de Piedras, or the Hands of Stone. As a lightweight, there weren't many fights in which Duran competed that went the distance. The man was a killer at lightweight and would destroy almost every fighter he went in there with. Only lost one fighter at lightweight, Esteban de Jesus, and he revenged that 2 times. Okay? Now, 2009 Manny Pacquiao versus 1980 Roberto Duran. Who wins? Duran is probably one of, if not, the best inside fighters ever. Okay? The Manny would have to fight the perfect fight against Duran. Prime Roberto Duran was a handful for anyone. If Pacquiao starts getting rough and rugged, which he will, that will play right into the hands of Duran. I don't see Pacquiao on his toes outboxing Duran. Duran is the type of fighter who can impose his will on any fighter. He punched like a mule. He had great timing, awesome head movement, a far better chin than Manny's, and he was great at cutting the ring off. Prime Duran had all the tools to beat Prime Pacquiao. Prime Duran, 15 rounds, 10 rounds to 5, okay? Next is another. We're getting to the good ones now. We are getting to the good ones now. Anybody coming in now is coming at the right time. Manny Pacquiao versus JCC, Julio Cesar Chavez. Oh man, I don't know what I did. I hope we get it. In case I go off, see y'all tomorrow. Oh, it's back. There he is. JCC. Julio Cesar Chavez. I was just joking. Okay. Now, yeah, we're going to get it all in. Ooh, it's getting late. Now, Chavez may be the most famous Mexican boxer ever. Okay? He had that always enjoyable come-forward style, which leads to fan-friendly action fights. He broke down opponents over his fights with thudding blows and relentless pressure. His story is a classic one that has been told and retold countless times, but Chavez stands out as the ultimate Mexican warrior. Now, considering Pacquiao's penchant for beating Mexican warriors, this matchup would have been a must-have if both had been in their primes at the same time. Yeah, they fought, their careers overlapped, but Chavez was kind of going toward the end when Pacquiao was, in his prime. Yeah, they were not in the primes at the same time, but this would have been must-have, must-see TV. They would have been in the primes at the same time. Now, how would prime Pacquiao versus prime Chavez unfold? Now, Chavez had outstanding punching power, a remarkably strong chin, an aggressive style, and not to mention his trademark body punching, which was arguably the best ever in the lower weight divisions. And of course, Pacquiao had knockout power in his left hand, an iron chin, relentless high-octane style, an amazing hand speed, and exceptional footwork. Now, I think the deciding factor in this fight would be the speed, since both fighters had an abundance of power. Now, I see the fight as an explosive brawl from the opening bell, with both men charging in head first and throwing eye-catching power punches. Now, Chavez would initially take control of the center of the ring, while Pacquiao uses side-to-side movement to attempt to push his opponent back with punches in bunches. Now, the fight would continue into the middle rounds with electrifying back-and-forth action, with neither fighter clearly in charge. Chavez might hurt Pacquiao with his devastating body punches, but Manny would fire back with 5 to 8 punch combinations. Now, by round 10, both fighters have been cut, and both men are exhausted from the fast pace of the fight. Pacquiao would continue to let his hands go, while Chavez tries to keep up. In the championship rounds, Pacquiao takes charge and drives Chavez into the ropes with a barrage of punches in the 12th and final round. But Chavez survives, but Manny wins by close split decision. 115-113, 115-113 for Pacquiao, 115-113 for Chavez. Okay, now I told you it gets good late, man. Look at this one. Look at this one. It's Hawk time. Manny Pacquiao versus Pryor at 140. Oh, Manny Pacquiao and Chavez was at, what weight was that one at? 140, junior lightweight, junior welterweight. Manny Pacquiao, Pryor, junior welterweight too. I think that's the only weight Pryor fought at, right? Junior welterweight? I don't think he fought anywhere else. Yeah. Junior welterweight. Yeah, I picked Pacquiao old school. I got Pacquiao over Chavez. I think Pacquiao would outwork him. They both will be throwing some stuff in there, but I think in the end, Pacquiao would weigh him down. Because Pacquiao had that gas tank, man. Pacquiao didn't get tired. He had that gas tank. That was one thing he always had in his favor. Now, Pacquiao and Pryor at junior welterweight. Like I said, it's Hawk time now. Now, it's a shame that Pryor never got a fight with Sugar Ray Leonard, because he might have beaten him, right? Pryor was able to dole out punches like a machine, right? and he didn't ever seem to get tired. I'm just talking about Pacquiao's gas tank. Well, Aaron Pryor, he made Pacquiao's gas tank look better. Aaron Pryor is Pacquiao's gas tank on steroids, man. Yeah. You know, watching the Hawk fight from his intense stare down at his opponents while he pointed across the ring at them to his devastating knockouts, was connected with 35 out of 39 opponents, right? You know, watching Pryor fight would make you tired just watching him. He had 35 out of 39 knockouts. And he only lost once in his career. But that was after his prime when he lost that one. Now, comparisons have been made between Pryor and Pacquiao. And though the fighters were both volume punchers who had power, Pryor might have had a little more speed than Pacquiao. But it wouldn't have been by much. Now, if Pac-Man and the Hawk had ever met, it would have been like dynamite going off. Both are relentless, come forward, hard-hitting fighters. Pryor quite possibly is a little bit more reckless, and Pacquiao more controlled, right, in their approaches. But both hard-hitting, come forward fighters. Both have good chins. Both have the hearts of lions. And both will give everything they got to the final bell, right? This could be the greatest fantasy matchup of all time, Pryor and Pacquiao. Now, I have to go with Pryor by late stoppage, okay? Pacquiao will end up jumping right into a big shot, right? Because Pacquiao was always running in, and what was Pryor always doing? Always throwing punches. So Pacquiao going to run right into something eventually. Plus, the Hawk is bigger, just as fast, and has an inexhaustible gas tank. Now, I don't think Manny would hurt Pryor enough to keep him off. Pryor body said, no, stoppage. In like late stoppage. 10 to 15 in a 15-round fight. After the 10th round, 12 or 15. Okay, yeah, Pryor by late stoppage. Man, what? I keep hitting stuff. Woo! What am I doing, man? I done went into the settings. Remo, somebody. I done went into the settings, man. God damn. I'm gonna call my 8-year-old granddaughter to come sit and watch me when I do these shows. She is far more technological than I am. Oh, okay, I got it. I was scared. I get ready to say see y'all tomorrow. Okay, next Tszyu, not Tszyu. Tim's daddy. Tszyu. We winding down. We're gonna make it to 325. Tszyu. This fight will be at junior welterweight, 140. Super lightweight junior welterweight. Now, Tszyu, the Mongolian descendant, had a terrific amateur career before he even turned professional, having been groomed by the then Soviet Union, right? Now, after the collapse of the USSR, boxing fans got a chance to see one of the best fighters in the world step into the professional ranks. Now, unlike most boxers who have an amateur background, these days, Tszyu decided to start fighting quality opposition immediately, right from the jump, right? It was a decision that would lead him to losing only 2 fights and becoming the undisputed champion at 140, right? Tszyu had what was defined. Tszyu has what defined most champions: the ability to punch, the ability to box, and the inner fire to push through adversity. Okay? He knocked out Zab Judah, right? And that knockout is still a YouTube sensation. We was just watching it on J Hardcore the other day, remember? Yeah, that knockout of Zab is still must-see TV on YouTube. Even though Tszyu never fought Pacquiao, fans did get to see something close. Ricky Hatton, who not only was the last person to face Tszyu and beat him, he was also knocked out by Pacquiao in 2009. Now, I got Manny by decision over Tszyu. I think Manny would be too elusive, and Tszyu wouldn't be successful in hitting Manny at all. And Manny would pepper Tszyu with punches all night. Now, Tszyu did have success against southpaws, but Manny wasn't your ordinary southpaw. Manny by decision, 12 rounds, 8-4. Now let's go back a ways. Carmen Basilio. Now Carmen, this would be at welterweight. Carmen did most of his best work at middleweight, but yeah. Carmen versus Manny at welterweight. Okay? Carmen Basilio at welterweight. Now Carmen Basilio is known for one thing above all else, being tough in a sport that prizes itself on the toughness of its competitors. Carmen stands head and shoulders above most fighters. He was one of those 1950s middleweights, but this fight is at welterweight. Now, the man wasn't known for power or boxing slickness, but just his ability to pressure opponents and keep coming. It kept him in fights with the likes of Sugar Ray Robinson, right? And won him titles at welterweight and middleweight. Now, though he might have been too big for Pacquiao, it would be interesting to see if Basilio could withstand the punishment that Pacquiao could have put out against him, right? And see if Basilio could come back and win the fight. Now, this would be another interesting matchup. Basilio was one of those great middleweights from the 1950s, which was the division he did his best work in. And this matchup is at welterweight because Manny never competed at middleweight, and Basilio never competed at junior middleweight. They didn't even have it back then in the 50s. Basilio's size advantage, great stamina, and combination punching would give him a 12-round decision over Manny. And Basilio wins by late stoppage in a 15-round fight. Okay? Emile Griffith. We're winding down now. Emile Griffith. Yeah. Emile Griffith. Now, Griffith may just be the greatest this is at welterweight. Griffith may just be the greatest welterweight to ever live, right? The amazing thing is that he probably wasn't even half the fighter he could have been, considering that he killed an opponent, Benny Pryor, in the ring. And after that, he tried to win all his fights by decision. You know, he really was never the same in the ring after that. And because of what happened, it's hard to say how many more fights he could have won if he hadn't been afraid of unleashing his power in the ring or knocking his opponents out after the tragedy. Even with him holding back, he still was able to not only win most of his fights, but became one of the most dominant welterweights and champions in the history of boxing. A fight with Pacquiao in the days before he accidentally killed Pryor would perhaps be one of the best of all time. Yeah, and I got Griffith winning that one by decision. Too big, too much for Pacquiao. Okay. Pernell Whitaker. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. Got a couple more. The Leonard, oh damn, did I put Benny Pryor up there? I mean, that's Emile Griffith right there. There's Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea is next. And then we got one more, Henry Armstrong. Henry Armstrong is extra good. Okay. Yeah, I got Aaron too old school. I had Pryor too old school. Yeah. Too much output. Manny wouldn't be able to keep the hawk off of him. Manny would not be able to keep the hawk off of him, man. No way. Okay. VP. Now, before there was Floyd Mayweather Jr., the supposed master of defense, there was Pernell Whitaker. Now, it may be nostalgic talking about Whitaker, but Whitaker seemed to be able to stand in front of opponents and make them miss, and then make them pay in a way Floyd never could, right? Whitaker's ability to be defensively perfect matched that of the all-time greats. Whitaker's career might have shined a little better than it already did if 2 fights he had been in had gone his way, right? Many watched him lose what was considered a robbery to Jose Luis Ramirez. Yeah, he fought Ramirez twice, basically carbon copies of each other. The game won to Ramirez, won to Whitaker. 2 sets of judges saw the same fight totally different. It's just crazy. But that was one of the 2, right? Jose Luis Ramirez. And then a somewhat disputed loss to Oscar De La Hoya, right? And he also had a fight in which he won, turned into a no contest, and in the draw with Chavez. And he had a fight he won, turned into a no contest because he failed drug test for cocaine. And he got another chance, but they told him he had to test, he had to take the drug test, right? And he failed the next one. But Whitaker might have struggled outside the ring like so many of his peers, but inside the ring, he dazzled and amazed those who watched him work his chosen trade. Fans who wanted to see Mayweather versus Pacquiao would have definitely wanted to see that one, Whitaker and Pacquiao. And the last but not least is Henry Armstrong, homicide of Hank. Okay, let's do this one. Yes, Weepy was the man, old school. Yes. That man could bend over backwards as far as somebody could bend over forward, man. Yes, Weepy. Okay, let me get to this one, and then that's it. This is good here. We're going to break this one down. Sweet Manny and Henry Armstrong. If I can get it up. There it is. Okay. Bleacher Report. That's one of my sites. If you're looking for good boxing and history and Bleacher Report. Bleacher Report. I shouldn't be telling y'all my secret. That is a very good site, Bleacher Report. Old school probably know about it anyway. That's where I get a lot of stuff from. Bleacher Report. But Manny Pacquiao versus Henry Armstrong. The fantasy tale of the tape. I found this on Bleacher Report. Very good. Now, very good. A number of modern-day boxing fans are probably not familiar with Henry Armstrong, but they should be. Homicide Hank had a much-decorated career between 1931 and 1945. He was the first professional fighter to win 3 world titles in 3 different divisions, and also holds the honor of being the only boxer to hold a featherweight, welterweight, and lightweight titles simultaneously. And there's 21 pounds between featherweight and welterweight, and he was holding them, defending both of them at the same time. Okay. Additionally, Armstrong is a member of the International Boxing Hall of Fame and was voted the 2nd greatest fighter in the last 80 years by Ring Magazine in 2007. Now, odds are everyone is quite in the end here is familiar with Manny Pacquiao, right? And we already talked about him. Let's go to the matchup. 8 weight divisions, 12 world titles, right? And he's scheduled to go in the International Boxing Hall of Fame next year in his first year eligibility, okay? Now, of course, it is impossible for us to ever witness a showdown between these two, as they are from 2 completely different eras. But that does not mean we cannot take a look at a tale of the tape today. Now, let us evaluate how these 2 enigmatic fighters would match up in a fictional showdown in the ring, okay? Okay, reach and height. Reach and height. Told everybody to stick around for this one. Let's go miss it. Reach and height. Now, the two fighters are very evenly matched in reach and height, a theme that will be common when evaluating the strengths of these two superstars. Very equally matched across a lot of different categories. Both men have a 67-inch reach, which is pretty solid for guys who are not very tall. Pacquiao has a slight advantage, standing 5'6.5 inches tall, while Armstrong stood at 5'5.5". Okay, Pacquiao got him by 1 inch, so basically the same reach and height. As far as the basics go, the main difference between the two is that Pacquiao is a southpaw, while Armstrong favored an orthodox stance. Okay, offense. Let's look at the offense between these two legends. Okay, now Pacquiao is known for often being the aggressor in fights, often dazing opponents with lightning fast multi-hit combinations. Armstrong was also notorious for coming at opponents with rapid-fire combinations, although his straight-ahead style saw him incur quite a bit of damage on select occasions. And since Pacquiao is not used to getting hit early and often, it is reasonable to theorize that Armstrong would have a slight advantage offensively. Okay? Slight advantage for Armstrong offensively. Defense. Both fighters are used to hitting opponents with barrages of punches, and obviously that is not possible without some great defense intact. Now, while neither fighter is regarded as an amazing counterpuncher per se, both have been great at blocking and absorbing punches throughout their careers. With that being said, it is tough to ignore the fact that Armstrong did not mind taking some damage to land some big shots of his own. This would be a mistake against Pacquiao, who is very good at wearing opponents down by making almost all of his punches count. Yeah, Manny was very accurate man. Therefore, Pacquiao seems to be the clear favorite in this category. Okay, defense goes to Pacquiao. Quickness. Let's look at quickness between these two legends. This is definitely the toughest category to differentiate who has a clear-cut advantage. Both fighters are well recognized for being incredibly fast with not only their hands, but also their footwork. Not many boxers can devise a much sounder game plan heading into a fight than Manny Pacquiao. But Armstrong would definitely be able to take the fight to Pacquiao for all 12 rounds. Armstrong went 15 rounds on several occasions in his day and was highly commended by fans and analysts alike for his freakish stamina. He had crazy stamina, man. It is nearly impossible to determine who is quicker between the two fighters, but Armstrong gets the nod here since he was more used to going the distance in his fights than Pacquiao. Yeah, and Armstrong went 15. So Armstrong gets the nod for quickness. Power. Okay, power. In 1938, Armstrong won an unheard of 27 fights in a row by way of knockout. Okay? And he had like 30. He won 27 of them in a row by knockout. Out of his 149 career wins, 101 of them saw his opponent staring at the lights. Okay? This is approximately a 67% knockout rate. Very impressive, especially when considering the volume of fights Armstrong had. Okay? I don't know what Manny's knockout rate is. Let me find it right quick. It'll take me but a second. Manny's knockout rate. I should have did that before I came on here. Sorry. Manny Pacquiao's knockout rate. There we go. Have it in a second. I love knockout rates. Then we're going to finish this off. I made a calculator. I got it. Okay. Oh, Lord have mercy. Now this thing is saying it's making sure I'm a human. What the hell you think I am? A robot. Okay. There we go. His knockout rate wasn't that good. It wasn't high as Henry's. Henry had 67. Manny had 62. So similar. Okay. Some knockout rates are similar. Okay. And Manny's personal best for knockouts in a row was 19. Now, while Pacquiao is clearly no slouch in the power category, Armstrong has the leg up in the power department. So Armstrong wins power. So Armstrong got the most categories. So the winner is of this fantasy fight, Henry Armstrong, in an incredibly close split decision, 115-113, or 15 rounds, 8-7. That's like 143-142. Pacquiao is no doubt one of the greatest of all time, and undeniably a first ballot Hall of Famer. But he has never encountered an opponent the caliber of Henry Armstrong in any of his fights. It is a shame this fantasy fight will never come to fruition, but it was interesting to analyze the strengths and weaknesses of these two amazing fighters from two different eras. There you have it, Manny Pacquiao versus the legends. We got 15 minutes of link time. Let's do it. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. I can't see the chat. I gotta get that back up before the link. There it is. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the link in there. Yeah, Sweet Pea would have been worse than Floyd, old school. No doubt. The beating Sweet Pea put on Manny would have been worse than Floyd. Yeah. Yeah, Manny couldn't even touch Floyd, you know. And that was a wide decision. So Manny Sweet Pea would have, it wouldn't even been no fight. Okay, let me get this link in here. I'm good at links now. Now watch me mess up. That's some bragging. I should have just kept my mouth shut. I'm good at links, and I ain't gonna get it in there. Okay, let me be quiet for a minute. If I keep talking, I'll never get it in. Oh, hum. Yeah, I got a voice on me. Y'all heard? Thought it was the radio, didn't you? T Hill, you thought that was the radio playing. That was me humming. Okay? That's right. I used to do backgrounds for the Temptations back in the day. If you believe that, I got some mountain property over here in East Baltimore for you. Let me get this link in. Here we go. Here comes the link. All are welcome to hit this thing. Hear what y'all think about these fights? What you thought about Tszyu and the guy he got beat by this weekend? What you think about the weather out there? Anything? Okay. And it's not right. See, I told you something up there bragging. Yeah, guys. It's not right. It's right now. There it is. We got 15 minutes to chop it up, chop it down. Tell me how much you love this show. Tell me how much you hated it. Whatever. Ken Saul, what's happening? What is happening in the building? Ken Saul that Love one. All right. First time. Boxing history every day, Ken Saul, 2 p.m., 2 to 4. We talk all that boxing history. They call me the boxtorian. Not a historian, boxtorian. And I can't find my ink pen. Yeah. Oh, man, I don't know where my ink pen at. Let me wait a minute. Where's that? Jaw, that's my boy Jaw, my buddy Jaw. Damn, where the hell is the cursor at? Okay, there we go. Jaw. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, Lord. Something ain't right. It's me. Okay, there's one. And there's two. What's up, Jaw? Old school. What's happening, gentlemen? How y'all doing today?
Yeah, I'm good.
Did I get Jaw up? Did I get you up, Jaw?
Nah.
Okay, what's happening?
What's happening with you?
Oh, not too much. Did Manny? I didn't get to, what I'm gonna
do.
You
know what I hate about this show?
What's that? Uh-oh.
Not a damn thing.
Oh man, I got nervous there, man.
I love this show.
I appreciate you. Now I didn't put Tank in because I'm gonna do a whole one. I'm gonna do a Tank versus the Legend, so I didn't put him up against Manny because I'm gonna do his whole thing by itself eventually. Okay? Yeah. I appreciate you though.
Hold on.
Got old school up here.
What you think about the fight this weekend?
This weekend?
Yeah.
Oh man, I wasn't expecting that.
I'm ready now.
Neither was I picked Tszyu to win because of the dog in him. But I forgot a while back I talked about Tszyu, and I said the only thing I didn't like about Tszyu was he gets hit too much.
Yeah.
He finally fought somebody that has enough punch to crack the hell out of him.
Yeah, he got cracked too.
And when your defense ain't that good, and his defense isn't. His defense is not that good. That shit happens, bro.
Yeah. What was you saying, Joe?
What up?
Broke up a little bit.
That's the OG Cherokee. You said Cherokee, right?
This William old school rant.
Comanche.
Oh, I apologize.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
OG Comanche.
But
Yeah. You related to Calvin, aren't you, Joe? Calvin Ford?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
The only question I got about that fight this weekend now
what was that
is how much punch resistance will Tim have after this?
Oh yeah, because that's the second second straight loss, right?
Yeah, but that first one, he didn't get knocked out of his damn senses like he did this fight. He got it a few times.
Yeah. H Money, salute H Money. Good to see you. Yeah, this was a bad one here, man.
I think Tim needs to take an easy touch for a comeback fight. See how he looks.
Yeah.
And he needs to work on his damn defense, bro. He's gonna be out of this game quick.
Yeah. Who is it? Who trains Tim? Anyway.
I don't know.
Yeah, because man.
I know his daddy came in and started working with him in Thailand.
Yeah.
Kostya. But I don't know who the hell is training him other than that.
Yeah. You think he might need to get somebody like a defensive trainer or something in there to work with him or something? You know?
He's got to do something, man. Because, like I said, I noticed a long time ago that Tim gets hit a lot. But he's always been able to take whatever he got cracked with. This time, he ran into somebody that can punch the ass off.
Yeah. With a good chin and everything, you know. Tim always was able to come back and hurt his guy and cover up taking all that punishment, you know. But this time that didn't work, you know. Yeah.
How did he heal so fast, though? Like, did he get his whole face split?
Oh, yeah, from that. I was wondering about that, too. When was that? That was like early. What was that, like March or April or something? Because they was in bad shape. I remember that. He got his head split wide open, man. He was bleeding like, Yeah, that was crazy. He tried to come back in August, but they canceled that. I knew he wasn't going to be able to. He tried to fight Virgil in August, remember? Yeah, I knew that was too soon. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. He'll fight.
What you think about the Tank and what y'all think about the Tank and what's the kid name he's fighting? Roach fight coming up. How long will that last? But y'all still there?
Say that again.
I said, what you think about the Tank and Lamont Roach fight? How long will that last? How many rounds?
As long as Tank wanted to go for the fans.
Yeah, that's true. I figure about 6.
Probably 7. I'm gonna say 7.
7. Yeah, that's a good range.
Yeah, don't wait too long.
Yeah, round in that
It only
range.
take one. You know, it only take one.
Yeah, that's all. That's all. You gotta be perfect against him, but one punch just changed the whole situation. You know, that's it. Hey, John, let me ask you: who would you like to see Tank fight after this? You have anybody that you would like to see him go up against? Or no preference? Or old school? You still there, old school?
Yeah, I'm talking to my son.
Oh, okay. You hear me, Ja? Am I pronouncing your name right? Ja? Oh, everybody's doing something else. But yeah, I wanted to see Tank and Loma, but Loma wasn't in the mood, so I would say Shakur now. But salute H Money, #MOB. Good to see you, bro. Welcome to Cash Sports. We talk
Let's hope Loma finds his goddamn balls and gets in the ring with Tank.
Did somebody say he was retiring now? Old school. Did you hear that?
Yeah, but we ain't heard it from Loma, did we? Or from anybody from his team.
Not from Loma.
Or from his team.
Yeah. So maybe he maybe they working on that. I don't know. Everybody wanted that fight. You know. The big water-headed Tim Bradley. He just always hating. He had all that negative stuff to say about Tank, but he ain't say nothing about Loma. Loma the one that backing out, retiring, running scared, you know. He ain't say nothing negative about Loma. His boy. You know. They're always gonna protect Loma though. Lomachenko. And that was his stimulus check, man. That would be his biggest payday ever. Why would you retire?
Big Head Bradley hates Tank with passion.
Because Tank said he didn't belong in the Hall of Fame, remember? But Tim Bradley with Tank was like, what? He don't belong in the Hall of Fame. He don't belong in the Hall of Fame. What has Tim Bradley done? He never beat Pacquiao. That was a robbery. Remember that fight when they gave him that fight over Pacquiao? He didn't beat no Pacquiao, man. That was crazy.
I didn't think he did.
No way. What do you think about the matchups today, old school? You had Pryor over Pacquiao. Y'all had the Hawk too over Pacquiao. That would be good though. They compare them all the time. You know,
I pretty much had everybody over Pacquiao, man. Them guys back then were different, dude.
Yeah, they was different. That's why I always go with the old school fighters, man.
And the way Pacquiao leaps in, these guys would all known that.
That would get him caught a lot back in the day.
Yeah, it would. Them guys were prepared when they came to the ring back then.
Yeah.
Pacquiao leap in on one of them dudes, they're gonna send him right back out the ring.
Yeah, he would have to switch that up. He would have to cut that out of his game altogether.
Yeah, because them dudes knew what they were doing, and they knew for shit like that. They knew how to catch you.
Imagine somebody like Hearns and he jumping there like that, man. That would be bad.
He did Pacquiao so hard he'd be over the top rope.
Yeah, they would need to stretch it. You know. Yeah, man.
It'd be like Hank Aaron swinging the bat on the baseball.
Yeah. Where were you off today, old school? The weather bad down there?
The wind picked up.
Okay. Oh, okay, yeah.
I wound up working yesterday evening. I'm getting home till almost 7 o'clock because I've been.
Yesterday? Sunday?
Yeah, because the wind's just been bad down here all week. We finally started getting some cold air, but when the cold air comes, so does the wind.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You sure got past that hurricane season bullshit, man.
They got another damn storm down at the bottom of the Gulf right now trying to start up.
What?
Yeah, man.
God damn.
And now they're talking about some people are taking it towards Florida again.
Oh, man. They done had 2 bad ones. Like back to back, damn, man. Wow.
Thank you. I wanted to show y'all how beautiful a day it was.
Yeah. You in Baltimore, John?
Back in the day, they would have been calling me Kid.
You live in Baltimore?
Yeah, I would have changed my name to Blackfoot.
To who?
Sweet Feet. To Blackfoot.
Yeah, it's nice out here today. I'm in Randallstown. It is beautiful. Like almost 80. Yeah. Beautiful day. I missed y'all show Friday. I fell asleep. I keep falling asleep on y'all, man. I watch the replays, though. I always put a comment in. Y'all be seeing my comments in there on the AWMs? But I appreciate y'all, though, man, for coming up. Next week is Sunny Liston.
No problem.
Next week, Monday is Sunny Liston. We're gonna put them up against some heavyweights and stuff. Some of these guys nowadays, Fury and Usyk and Wilder and Joshua and all of them. I would have Sonny beating all of them, but I'm gonna try to look at it objectively, not try to be biased. You know.
Right. I'm gonna tell you, dude. If I don't watch more film on that Russian that Tszyu fought, I probably would have got it right. But I ain't gonna lie. I was trying to work and then doing other shit. And I just did not do my homework on that dude.
Yeah, I didn't know too much about him either.
I knew he could punch hard, but I had no idea that he was as good as he is. That dude's got skills.
Yeah.
His freaking timing is beautiful.
Yeah, all them Russians, they can punch, but they have good boxing skills too, man. You know.
And it looks like he could take a punch because I saw Tszyu crack him a few times, didn't even budge him.
And they stay in the amateurs a long time over there too, man. You know, that's why they're so good boxers over there. You notice how all of them had like the low 20s and fights. Like look at Bivol and Better Be Ab. Better be like 21, 22 fights.
I'd like to see Crawford fight that dude.
Oh man, yeah. Ooh. Somebody was talking about that. Just talk though after the fight, you know.
Well, I hate to say it, but I think he gives Bud the blues.
Stops him.
I don't know about the boxing part of it, but Bud would have problems trying to get around that power because if that dude cracks him, he could hurt him quick.
Yeah, he punching like that. Yeah,
Bud would have to try and box him at a distance and wouldn't be able to try and go in and set up on him. You know,
get a decision. Yeah, stay at range. That's how he would go at it.
Man, y'all talking about Bud against who? I hope it's Tank.
No, that guy that fought Saturday, the Russian guy.
Everybody must be Bud fans because y'all.
I'm not a Bud fan. I'm an Errol fan.
We was talking about that Russian guy that fought Tszyu Saturday. What is Earl doing now? Is he fighting Fundora or what?
Bruh, I'm still hearing he's having problems in sparring, getting beat up.
Damn. Earl should just give it up.
And he's not getting beat up by quality people, bro. He's getting beat up by youngsters.
Damn.
Dude, he needs to just come out and tell the truth. That accident did him in.
Yeah. I was getting ready to say that.
He took a lot more damage than he told people, bro.
Yeah. And it still could be stuff affecting him from it. You know, this accident like that, this could be still coming on him, you know.
Yeah. I mean, fuck,
that was
bro.
bad. He got threw out the car.
You know,
man.
I'm walking. I'm still working on my footwork. You know. I'll never
You
stop.
box? You box, Jaw?
So I keep cutting in and out. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, we gotta get ready to go see Just Do
You
Boxing.
said Earl was getting beat up in sparring though by amateurs?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, by up and comers.
Yeah, I think that
That
accident
sound
had
good.
a lot more effect on him, you know, like
Pray
old
for
school than
Earl.
he letting on, man. The accident he was in, I think it was way worse than.
Yeah. Well, like I told you before, man, when he fought Danny Garcia showed up a paycheck. He really didn't fight back. In fact,
Yeah.
his daddy was screaming at him in the corner to turn up on Earl, you know?
Right.
And he wouldn't do it. And then he gets in there with Ugas. Ugas can't bust a grape fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And even Ugas was hurting him.
Yeah. He just lost again to the Cuban guy. What's his name? Lara? Yeah. Danny just getting checks. You're right. He just getting checks now, man.
As far as Arrow goes, though, man, look, let him have a tune-up fight. Don't put him in the goddamn ring with Fundora or anybody.
Not
He
right
needs
away.
to get a damn tune-up fight in and see what he's got left.
Yeah. Because Fundora will hurt him, man.
Yeah. And if he can't take a punch, he don't belong in there with no Fundora, Bud, or anybody else.
Not top level. Take a tune-up just to see. Yeah. But he don't believe in tune-ups, remember? That's what he said. But he needs to start believing in them, especially after that accident. We got to get ready to get out of here.
I was hearing that was part of the problem between him and Derek James, like before the Bud fight.
Yeah,
Derek didn't want him to fight.
I never thought him and Derek would fought like that. That was a shocker the way him and Derek fought it. Yeah, man. I thought they was tight, like, you know, like family, more than just like trainer. And I thought they were like family, like, you know. You never know.
Come on, Bob, I'm gonna let you go. I know Just Who's coming on.
Yeah. Devil is a lie.
What'd you say, Joe?
I said the devil is a lie.
Oh, that's right. And busy. But
all right, Cass, I'll holler at you later.
I'm going back on family.
Later.
Okay, yeah, we get ready to get out of here. I appreciate your old school and Jaw coming up.
Peace and blessings.
Yeah, you take care. Blessings to you too, man. Appreciate you. And everybody in the chat, we're gonna put this Cass Sports in the history books and do another one tomorrow. I lost my sheet that I had all the names on. I had no idea where it's at. There it is. Okay. Who do we have in the building today? We had Jaw, we had William Old School of Rant, we had H Money, we had Thomas Hill, Technique, Melanin Queen 27, Mike Rim, Trump, Big Dre, Mike Mazik, Crush the Legend, Just Do Boxing, Miss Cass. And my sister-in-law Terry was in here too. She didn't comment, but she was in here. And everybody have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow for another one. We're going to talk about women's boxing tomorrow. But we'll be back. Because you know, if it's Monday through Friday at 2 p.m., it's the Boxtorian bringing you all that boxing history. Everybody have a great day. Just Do Boxing is straight ahead. I'm Cass Sports and I'm out of here. Everybody have a good one. Sorry. What's up, Al Booger? I didn't see you come in, bro.